Ever shared your big dreams only to be met with doubt or criticism? In today's video, we'll reveal the 4 things you should never share with anyone. Stick around till the end. You might just uncover the key to achieving your goals with more confidence and clarity. Your personal goals and dreams are the foundation of your future, the very essence of what you envision for your life. These are the aspirations that fuel your ambition, the driving force behind your daily decisions and actions. But here's the thing, sharing your goals and dreams too freely, especially with those who may not share your vision or enthusiasm, can actually hurt your chances of success. When you share your most intimate desires too early or with the wrong people, you open yourself to a range of negative outcomes that can derail your path. Consider the impact of sharing your goals with individuals who are not supportive or do not understand your vision. Not everyone around you will have the same level of belief in your potential, and some may not see the importance of your dreams. If you share your goals with someone who does not truly understand or appreciate them, you may find yourself faced with doubt, negativity, or even discouragement. A person who is not aligned with your aspirations may unintentionally question your abilities or point out every possible obstacle in your path. Their lack of belief in your vision could plant seeds of self-doubt in your own mind, weakening your resolve. When you share your dreams with others, you give them the power to influence your decisions, whether positively or negatively. A well-meaning friend or family member may offer advice that is based on their own experiences or limitations. While they may believe they are helping you, their advice could be more harmful than useful. For instance, if they tell you that your goal is too ambitious or unrealistic, it could make you second-guess yourself. The worst part is that their words may not be reflective of your true potential or the reality of the situation. Sometimes, the biggest hindrance to success is not external circumstances, but the internalized doubt we absorb from others. There's a psychological phenomenon that occurs when you share your dreams prematurely. When you speak your dreams out loud, it can feel like you've already achieved them. This sense of accomplishment can give you a false sense of satisfaction, which may reduce your drive to actually pursue them. It's almost as if by simply talking about your goals, you trick your brain into thinking you've already done the hard work. But the reality is that achieving your goals requires hard work, persistence, and action. It's easy to fall into a state of complacency after sharing your dreams because the excitement of sharing them may momentarily satisfy your need for validation or recognition. But this sense of premature fulfillment can ultimately work against you if it distracts you from the necessary steps toward success. Another consideration is the power of your goals. Your dreams are deeply personal, and they represent a part of your inner self that is fragile and vulnerable. Exposing them to judgment or criticism too soon can lead to your dreams being misunderstood or distorted. Not everyone will be able to see the potential or significance of your vision, and some may even mock or belittle it. This negative energy can weigh heavily on your spirit, draining the excitement and passion you once had for your dreams. The truth is, your goals and dreams are your sacred responsibility, and only you should have the power to shape them. By keeping them to yourself, or sharing them only with those who truly understand and support you, you protect their integrity and keep the energy focused on achieving them. When you share your dreams too early, you risk exposing them to unwanted external influences that can derail their potential. Instead, focus on taking small, consistent steps towards your goals and let the results speak for themselves. Let your actions reveal the power of your dreams rather than relying on others' approval or validation. It's essential to understand that your goals are yours to protect. They are your compass in life, guiding you toward the future you want to create. By safeguarding them, you ensure that they remain pure, untarnished by the doubts, judgments, or misunderstandings of others. The more you protect your goals, the more you protect your ability to achieve them. Keep your dreams close, nurture them, and watch them grow. Only then will you truly realize the potential within you to create the life you've always imagined. Weaknesses and vulnerabilities are deeply personal aspects of who we are. They are the areas in our lives where we struggle, where we feel insecure, or where we have yet to build strength. These are the parts of us that often hold the most fear and hesitation. When we open ourselves up and share these vulnerabilities with the wrong people, we risk exposing our deepest fears and insecurities to judgment or exploitation. We must understand that not everyone in our lives has the capacity or the intention to handle these weaknesses with care. Sharing them can invite unwanted consequences that are not always easily reversible. To begin with, when we share our vulnerabilities, we give others the power to potentially use them against us. People can be well-intentioned, but sometimes their words or actions may be unintentionally harmful. When you reveal your insecurities or weaknesses, you may inadvertently become an easy target for criticism or ridicule. For example, someone might use your vulnerability in a moment of conflict to manipulate the situation or take advantage of your emotional state. The truth is, weaknesses are often seen as areas that can be exploited, and not everyone will treat them with the respect and sensitivity they deserve. When you let your guard down, you make yourself more susceptible to emotional harm, and this can have long-lasting effects on your self-esteem and sense of security. Sharing weaknesses with the wrong people can create a feeling of dependence on others' opinions. Once you expose your vulnerabilities, you may start to look for validation or reassurance from others. This dependency can weaken your own resilience and autonomy. Instead of learning to cope with your weaknesses in a healthy, self-sufficient manner, you may begin to rely too much on external sources for comfort or understanding. This can be emotionally draining and may prevent you from developing the inner strength needed to overcome your challenges on your own. In fact, by sharing your weaknesses too freely, you could be giving others the ability to define your worth based on their perceptions of your vulnerabilities. There's the risk of misunderstanding. When we share our weaknesses, we often expect empathy and understanding, but not everyone will respond in the way we hope. Some people may dismiss or trivialize your vulnerabilities, thinking of them as weaknesses rather than opportunities for growth. Others may not know how to offer support, or may even react with judgment or criticism. The very act of sharing something so personal may lead to feelings of rejection or abandonment if the response is not what you anticipated. Instead of feeling empowered by opening up, you might end up feeling even more isolated or misunderstood. There's also the psychological effect of projecting our weaknesses onto others. When you make your vulnerabilities known, you might invite people to see you only through the lens of those weaknesses. This could limit their understanding of who you are as a person and reduce your chances of being seen as a complete, whole individual. People may start to define you solely by your flaws, and this can impact the way they treat you moving forward. In some cases, it might even lead to feelings of embarrassment or shame about your vulnerabilities, making it harder to confront and address them in the future. Sharing your vulnerabilities with others can have a significant impact on your sense of privacy and personal boundaries. When you reveal your most sensitive struggles, you risk losing control over that part of yourself. Vulnerabilities are meant to be private, and disclosing them without careful consideration can lead to a loss of autonomy. People may begin to feel entitled to give unsolicited advice or they might start treating you differently based on their knowledge of your weaknesses. This can create an uncomfortable dynamic in your relationships and, over time, may erode your sense of security and trust. Your weaknesses and vulnerabilities are part of your personal journey toward growth and self-improvement. The process of facing and overcoming them is an internal one. While there may be moments when sharing your struggles with trusted individuals is helpful, it's important to choose those people wisely. You need to have a strong support system that will handle your vulnerabilities with care and respect. Until you have found those people, it is often best to keep your weaknesses to yourself. They are your responsibility to nurture and heal, and not everyone in your life is equipped to bear that responsibility alongside you. Protect your vulnerabilities as a precious part of yourself, and when you are ready, share them only with those who have earned the privilege of truly understanding and supporting you. Your financial situation is one of the most personal aspects of your life, yet it is often one of the most shared, whether by choice or by circumstance. It's tempting to discuss your finances with others, especially when you're facing challenges or need advice. However, revealing the details of your financial life to the wrong people can lead to unwanted complications, unnecessary stress, and potential exploitation. It's essential to recognize the sensitivity of financial matters and the importance of keeping them private. When it comes to your money, discretion is not just a matter of privacy, but also of protection. When you disclose your financial situation to others, especially those who are not in your immediate circle of trust, you risk exposing yourself to judgment. People often make assumptions based on what they hear, and these assumptions can have a significant impact on your reputation and the way you are treated. For instance, if you reveal that you're struggling financially, others may begin to see you through the lens of scarcity or weakness. They might start to feel sorry for you, or in some cases may even treat you differently. Conversely, if you share that you are doing well financially, it could spark jealousy or resentment. The people around you might start to expect more from you or feel entitled to your success in ways that are uncomfortable or even damaging. Money can reveal the disparities between individuals, and sharing it too freely opens the door for misunderstandings and strained relationships. Revealing your financial situation can expose you to unwanted advice or manipulation. People who hear about your financial struggles may offer solutions or advice that they believe will help, but their suggestions could come from a place of ignorance or bias. Not all advice is good advice, and some people may offer suggestions that could put you in a worse position financially. For example, someone might suggest risky investments or loans that could be detrimental to your long-term financial health. Similarly, those who learn about your financial success might begin to approach you for financial help, loans, or even business partnerships that aren't in your best interest. Their intentions might not always be malicious, but their proposals can create uncomfortable situations that force you to question your boundaries and your priorities. When you share details about your finances, you also risk making yourself a target for exploitation. Unfortunately, there are people who will take advantage of your financial situation, whether it's through loan requests, unsolicited advice, or even outright manipulation. If someone knows that you're financially comfortable, they might try to exploit that information by putting pressure on you to help them out, invest in their business, or give them a handout. On the flip side, if you're struggling financially, people may take advantage of your vulnerability, offering you help that comes with strings attached. The more people know about your financial situation, the more you open yourself to the possibility of being taken advantage of by those who see your resources as something they can benefit from. There is also the psychological effect of sharing your financial struggles or successes with others. Discussing your finances can bring about feelings of inadequacy or guilt, especially if others perceive your situation in a way that makes you feel judged. If you're facing financial difficulties, talking about it may lead to feelings of embarrassment or shame. Similarly, if you're doing well financially, you might feel uncomfortable or guilty for having more than others. These emotions can cloud your judgment and influence the way you approach your financial goals. The last thing you want is to let external opinions dictate your financial decisions, or to feel pressured into living up to other people's expectations. Disclosing your financial situation can diminish your sense of control and autonomy. Money is deeply personal, and sharing it with others takes away the ability to manage your financial matters in the way that is most suited to you. When you keep your finances private, you retain full control over how you allocate your resources, how you plan for the future, and how you navigate challenges. Sharing too much about your financial situation can make you feel obligated to share even more, ultimately leading to a loss of control over an area of your life that should be completely in your hands. Your financial situation is yours to manage and protect. While there may be a time and place for seeking financial advice or sharing your challenges with trusted individuals, it is vital to recognize the importance of discretion. The less you reveal about your finances, the more you safeguard your privacy, independence, and peace of mind. Keep your financial matters close to you, and only share them with people who truly have your best interests at heart. Those who understand the responsibility that comes with knowing your financial situation and who will treat it with respect. Protecting your financial privacy isn't about hiding from the world, it's about maintaining control and creating the freedom to make the best decisions for your future. Personal relationships, whether they are with family, friends, or romantic partners, are some of the most important and influential aspects of our lives. However, these relationships also come with a level of complexity and sensitivity that requires careful handling. Sharing too much about these relationships with others, especially people who are not involved or who lack the necessary context, can create misunderstandings, breed conflict, and even damage the bond you share with those closest to you. It's crucial to recognize that not every detail of your personal relationships should be exposed to the world, as some things are better kept private for the health and longevity of the relationship itself. First, consider how sharing too much about your personal relationships can distort others' perception of them. People often see relationships through their own lens, shaped by their experiences, biases, and beliefs. When you share your struggles or disagreements with others, they may not fully understand the context or nuances of the situation. What might seem like a minor argument or misunderstanding to you could be blown out of proportion by someone else who doesn't know the full story. This can lead to unnecessary judgments or opinions about the people involved, which could influence the way others view your relationships. The more details you reveal, the more room there is for misinterpretation, and it's easy for others to form an opinion based on incomplete information. Sharing too much about your personal relationships can invite unsolicited advice or unwanted interference. People often feel compelled to offer solutions or opinions when they hear about someone else's problems, even if those problems are personal or private. While well-meaning, this advice can be more harmful than helpful, especially when it comes to delicate matters involving family, romantic partners, or close friends. People who aren't emotionally invested in your relationship might not be able to offer advice that is relevant or suitable for your unique circumstances. Instead of feeling supported, you may end up feeling overwhelmed by a flood of advice that adds more confusion rather than clarity. In some cases, others may overstep boundaries and become too involved, which can create tension and resentment in your relationship. Another risk of oversharing about personal relationships is the potential to create division or tension among the people involved. When you share intimate details about your relationships with others, those people might form opinions about your partner, family members, or friends. This can lead to misunderstandings and conflict, especially if they are inclined to take sides or offer their biased perspective. For example, if you vent about a disagreement with your partner, your friends or family may start to view your partner in a negative light, which could lead to strained relationships on both sides. Once others are involved in your personal issues, it becomes difficult to separate their opinions from your own experience, and their judgments may inadvertently shape how you see your relationship. There's also the risk of weakening the trust and intimacy in your relationships. Trust is a fundamental element of any close relationship, and when you share personal details with people outside of the relationship, you may inadvertently betray that trust. Even if you don't intend to harm the relationship, revealing private matters to others can lead to feelings of betrayal or insecurity. If the people involved in your relationships feel exposed or vulnerable due to your disclosures, it can create distance and erode the closeness you once shared. Trust is built on mutual respect, and part of respecting your relationship is protecting its privacy and not sharing its most intimate aspects with others who are not directly involved. Sharing too much about your personal relationships can sometimes make you feel more vulnerable and exposed than necessary. Relationships, particularly romantic ones, can be a source of emotional security and intimacy. When you open up about them to people who are not involved, you risk exposing your emotions, vulnerabilities, and insecurities. This can leave you feeling exposed or even judged, as others may not fully understand the intricacies of the connection you share with someone else. Vulnerability is a powerful tool in relationships, but it is meant to be shared selectively with those who truly understand and care about the relationship's dynamics. Oversharing can dilute the intimacy and emotional safety that come with keeping personal matters between those directly involved. Personal relationships are meant to be nurtured and protected. The more you share with others, the more you open up the potential for misunderstandings, judgment, and unnecessary interference. Protecting the privacy of your relationships is not about keeping secrets or being dishonest, but about maintaining the integrity and trust that these connections are built on. It's essential to establish boundaries when it comes to discussing your personal relationships with others, ensuring that you are mindful of what you share and with whom. By doing so, you preserve the strength and health of your relationships, allowing them to grow and evolve without the complications of external influence. Your past mistakes and failures are a part of your life's journey, but they do not define who you are or your future. We all have moments in life that we wish we could change or take back, whether it's poor decisions, regrets, or actions we later regret. These experiences are universal, but there is power in how we handle them. While it's natural to reflect on your past, sharing too much about your past mistakes and failures with others can be detrimental to your emotional well-being and your growth as a person. The process of moving forward involves accepting your past, learning from it, and then leaving it behind. Exposing your past in great detail, especially to those who may not have a constructive or compassionate understanding of it, can keep you tethered to that past, limiting your potential to move forward with strength and confidence. When you share the details of your past mistakes, you risk allowing others to see you through the lens of those failures. People, especially those who are not close to you, may only remember the mistakes you made, instead of seeing the growth you've experienced since then. Once others are made aware of your failures, they might form judgments about you based solely on those past actions, overlooking the progress you've made and the lessons you've learned. This can lead to unfair perceptions, limiting how others view you and potentially even how you view yourself. The narrative others create about you, based on the mistakes you've shared, can have a profound impact on your self-esteem and in turn your future actions. This can lead to a pattern of self-doubt or insecurity, preventing you from embracing your potential and moving beyond what's already happened. When you discuss your past mistakes openly, you might unintentionally invite pity or sympathy from others. While well-meaning, this kind of attention can make you feel weak or victimized rather than empowered to take ownership of your past and shape your future. Sympathy can feel comforting in the moment, but it can also prevent you from standing up and moving forward. When you share your mistakes with others, you may begin to seek validation or reassurance that you've learned from them, but this can create a dependency on others' approval rather than fostering self-confidence. It's important to acknowledge that your past is something you can learn from, not something that needs to be constantly examined or explained to others. True strength comes from owning your past without the need for external validation or sympathy, knowing that your mistakes don't diminish your worth, but instead shape your resilience. Another significant issue with oversharing past mistakes is the potential for others to use this information against you. The more you reveal, the more ammunition others have to criticize, belittle, or manipulate you in the future. Even those you trust may unintentionally bring up your past mistakes in moments of conflict, using them as a weapon in an argument, or as a way to diminish your value. When you expose your vulnerabilities, especially those tied to past errors, you risk others treating you with less respect or understanding. This is not to say that people are inherently malicious, but it's natural for some individuals to remember your past failures, sometimes even more vividly than your triumphs, and to reference them in ways that undermine your present and future progress. Revealing too much about your past mistakes can prevent you from fully embracing the present moment. It can keep you focused on what you did wrong, rather than allowing you to focus on the opportunities and possibilities that are available to you now. The past can be a heavy burden to carry, but constantly talking about it and revisiting it can hinder your ability to create a fresh start. You become more fixated on what you've done wrong than on what you can do right. This creates a cycle of regret that holds you back, making it difficult to move forward with purpose and optimism. Your energy and focus should be directed toward growth, not staying stuck in a loop of past failures. The past has valuable lessons, but it should not dictate your future actions or the direction of your life. In addition to external consequences, sharing your past mistakes can also negatively affect your emotional health. Each time you revisit your past mistakes, you may trigger emotions like guilt, shame, or frustration. These feelings can be intense and draining, especially if you are constantly reflecting on what went wrong instead of acknowledging the growth that has occurred since then. The more you expose yourself to these emotions by sharing your failures with others, the more difficult it becomes to move past them. It becomes a vicious cycle of emotional exhaustion where you continuously relive your mistakes without truly healing from them. By keeping your past mistakes to yourself or sharing them only with those who can help you heal and move forward, you avoid the emotional toll of repeatedly reopening old wounds. The act of oversharing your past mistakes can prevent you from fully accepting yourself. If you are constantly explaining or justifying your past errors, it's a sign that you have not fully made peace with them. True healing comes from acceptance, not from continuously defending or discussing your past actions. Every individual has a past, and no one is exempt from making mistakes. but those mistakes do not define your entire identity. The more you focus on your past failures, the less room you create for your future successes. Keeping your mistakes private allows you to embrace who you are today without constantly being reminded of who you once were. You are not defined by your past, and your future is shaped by the choices you make in the present. In conclusion, while it's important to acknowledge and learn from your past mistakes, it's equally important to protect the narrative you share with others. Sharing too much can keep you stuck in a place of regret, make you vulnerable to judgment, and limit your potential to move forward. Your past does not have to dictate your future, and it's up to you to decide how much of your story you want to share with others. Keep the lessons, discard the burdens, and move forward with confidence, knowing that your past does not have to be a weight that holds you back. Your dreams and goals are incredibly personal, and they hold the potential to shape your future in profound ways. They represent your aspirations, the visions you have for your life, and the steps you plan to take to create the life you desire. However, while it's essential to have dreams and ambitions, it's equally important to be selective about who you share them with. Dreaming big and setting goals is empowering, but when you share your ambitions too openly, especially with people who may not fully support or understand your vision, you risk encountering discouragement, skepticism, or even sabotage. The path to achieving your dreams is challenging enough without the added weight of external doubts and negative opinions weighing you down. Sometimes the most productive course of action is to keep your dreams and goals to yourself until you are in a position to bring them to fruition. When you share your dreams and goals with others, you open yourself up to a wide range of reactions. While some may be encouraging and supportive, others may react with doubt or disbelief. There are always those who will question the feasibility of your dreams, dismiss your ambitions, or tell you that your goals are unrealistic. While constructive criticism can be valuable, too much unsolicited skepticism can undermine your confidence and cause you to second-guess your path. Not everyone understands the unique combination of circumstances, passions, and motivations that fuel your goals. Instead of providing helpful guidance, some may offer negative opinions that stem from their own limitations, fears, or personal experiences. These reactions, even if unintentional, can plant seeds of doubt in your mind, which can ultimately slow your progress or derail your efforts. In addition to skepticism, sharing your dreams too freely can invite unwanted criticism. People often feel entitled to weigh in on your ambitions, offering opinions and advice that you never asked for. The problem with this is that not all advice is constructive, and some people may impose their own doubts or fears onto your aspirations. For instance, if you're dreaming of starting a new business or pursuing a creative endeavor, someone who has never taken a similar risk may tell you it's too risky or that you don't have what it takes. This kind of advice can hold you back, making you question your capabilities and your plans. While it's natural to seek approval or validation, depending too much on others for feedback can lead you away from the path that is right for you. Instead of focusing on your unique vision, you can find yourself shaped by the opinions and experiences of others who may not have your best interests at heart. Sharing your dreams too openly can expose you to the risk of envy or resentment. It's natural to feel proud of your goals and ambitions, but not everyone around you will share in that excitement. When you reveal your dreams to people who are not supportive or who feel threatened by your ambitions, you may face jealousy or passive-aggressive behavior. Some individuals may view your success or your plans as a reflection of their own shortcomings, which can lead them to undermine your progress, either subtly or overtly. This could manifest as negative comments, attempts to distract you from your goals, or even intentional actions to sabotage your success. While these reactions are not always easy to detect, they can be incredibly harmful to your journey. The last thing you need when chasing your dreams is to be surrounded by individuals who do not want to see you succeed. Another reason to keep your dreams private is to preserve your energy and focus. Talking about your dreams can be a great way to generate excitement and motivation, but it can also lead to burnout if you're not careful. Sharing your dreams too frequently can result in lengthy discussions that drain your energy, leaving you feeling more focused on explaining your vision than on taking action to make it happen. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of sharing your goals with others, but these conversations can sometimes replace the actual work needed to bring those goals to life. You may find yourself spending more time talking about your plans than actively working toward them. Instead of speaking about your dreams at length, it's often more productive to take action in silence, working behind the scenes to manifest your vision without unnecessary distractions or diversions. Sharing your goals too early can lead to a phenomenon known as premature fulfillment. This happens when you speak about your dreams and goals before you've made significant progress and you receive external validation or praise for your ideas. While it may feel good to have others acknowledge your plans, this premature praise can trick your brain into thinking that you've already achieved something, even when you haven't yet taken the necessary steps to do so. This false sense of accomplishment can reduce your drive and motivation, leading you to put less effort into achieving your goals. The excitement of sharing your vision can be motivating, but it can also deceive you into thinking the dream is already a reality, which can prevent you from fully committing to the hard work required to make it happen. Keeping your dreams and goals to yourself can allow you to maintain a sense of privacy and protect your personal journey. Not every part of your life needs to be on display for the world to see, and your dreams are no exception. The more you reveal about your ambitions, the more you open yourself up to scrutiny. Keeping your goals private lets you focus solely on what you need to do to achieve them, without the pressure of external expectations or the opinions of others influencing your decisions. Additionally, by keeping your dreams to yourself, you create a sense of mystery around your progress, which can be a powerful motivator. It's empowering to know that you are working towards something meaningful without the need for external validation. While it's important to have dreams and goals, it's equally important to be selective about who you share them with and when. By keeping your dreams private, you protect yourself from unwanted criticism, sabotage, and the pressures of external expectations. It allows you to stay focused, energized, and motivated while also preserving your sense of privacy and autonomy. Not everyone needs to know your plans before they come to fruition. Instead of talking about your dreams, focus on taking the necessary steps to make them a reality. And when the time is right, you will be able to share your success with the world. Thanks for watching. If you found value in today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Remember, sometimes keeping things to yourself is the best way to protect your dreams and stay focused on your goals. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next one.